We're going to talk about why you want to zero your scope maybe at 20 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards, and then we're going to do a little bit of hunting today. This weekend I went hunting with a friend. He had a CZ rifle, 17 caliber, and over 100, 150 yards. He was hitting everything, and it was pretty amazing. But the one thing that was fascinating was that he zeroed his scope at 20 yards. What's one of the reasons why you want to zero your scope at 20 yards? Well, maybe you don't have a range that goes over 40, 50, 60, or even up to 100 yards, so it's not that easy to zero at that distance. Also, if you're like me, I have a reticle or crosshair on my scope that pretty much covers the target over 60 yards. I can't even see a 100-yard target, especially small ones at 100 yards or 150 or 200. Also, maybe you just have bad eyesight. You can't see the target at 100 yards. So let's go over how you can zero a scope at a shorter distance and still get a zero at a longer distance. For this example, I'm going to use the ammo that I shoot all the time. This is a lead-free hollow point CCI TNT green 16 grain 2,500 feet per second. So here's the information that I'm punching into the ballistics calculator that I used. And notice the outcome. I did 20-yard increments because I want to see what the bullet's doing at every 20 yards, and I did a max of about 300 yards. I don't want to shoot this gun really over 60 yards, but some people may want to go up to like 300 yards and beyond or whatever. But here are the numbers that it broke down for this demonstration. I zeroed it at 20. It gave me 0.1. Basically, it's going to be, that's zero. Let's call that zero. Then you got 40 yards, and you're shooting at about an inch, okay? And then you got 60 yards, 1.5, 80 yards, 1.7, 100 yards, 1.5, 120.8, and look at it, it's starting to drop, okay? Now at 140, look what happens. We're back down to close to zero. Maybe at 145 or something, it could be at zero. So 20 is very close to 140. So if you're shooting at 140 or 150, something like that, it might be okay to zero at 20 yards. Does that make sense? So let's demonstrate with this scope and rifle barrel right here. At some point, your sight is going to intersect with the bullet, okay? And then at some point, your sight's going to be down here. Your bullet's going to start going up like that, okay? Now, because of gravity, the bullet's going to start dropping, okay? Somewhere around here, they're going to match up. Here you got that 20 yards. Here you got that about 140, okay? Does that make sense? A lot of people ask me, why do you zero your rifle at like 50, 60 yards? Well, one, because I'm shooting at about 60 yards. So for me, this is 60, okay? But I know that somewhere out here, I can also shoot my rifle, and that'll be about zero right here. Okay, does that make sense? So it's not rocket science, but a lot of people don't understand that, including me at some point in time. I learned that, you know? So hopefully this helps you understand why you want to zero your rifle at a shorter distance. You don't always have to, but it can be possible. For where I'm at, I don't want to shoot over 60 yards. Anything over that's luck where we're at, because we have so much wind and swirling winds and elevation drops. There's just too much going on, and ammo's not free. So with that being said, let's go hunt some squirrels. And by the way, I got a new electric bike to take me out to those hot spots where all those squirrels are. Okay, you guys, I just made it up on top of this hill with this new bike of mine. Oh my God, feels like cheating. Insane. Tons of power. I don't have to walk anywhere. It's quiet. I've crept up on these squirrels now, but if you're thinking about getting one of these, try them out. They're awesome. Okay, you guys, I'm all set up. I'm gonna put the distances that I'm shooting at right here. I'm zeroed at 60, 80 yards, it's gonna shoot low at about a 1/4 inch. 100 yards, it's gonna shoot low at about an inch, okay? At 120 yards, it's gonna shoot low at about 2 inches. So we're gonna play with those distances today and see how accurate they are. Okay, we got one at 55 yards. Let's try it. Right on the money. That last shot was right in my sweet spot, right where I'm zeroed. It's down about 4 degrees, but didn't really matter. The 17's a laser. Okay, I got one at 101. Slope is about 5 degrees, and he's standing up. So let's see, I gotta thread the needle. Got him. On that last shot with the ballistics that I have set up, zeroed at 60, you know, the gun's going to be shooting about 1 inch low. So luckily that squirrel was standing up and they're about maybe 7-8 inches tall. So all I did was aim dead center. So if I went high, cool. If I went low, cool. You know, the only problem I had to worry about was left and right. And the winds are starting to pick up right now, about 7 to 10 miles an hour. Not too bad, but down there it could be a different story. It could be swirling a little bit more down there. Okay, I got one standing up at 102, same distance. He's a little bit skinnier, so this will be a lucky shot. Got him. Okay, I got one 77 yards. Got him. Okay, I got another one at 104, standing up, skinny one again. Another tough shot. Let's see if I can get him. God, I think it went right through them, you guys. I'm hunting with the lead-free hollow points, and they're just, over the weekend, man, we were shooting tons of squirrels, and it was going right through them. And then my friend gave me the polymer tip ones, and it was knocking them down. But I got a bunch of these rounds I'm going to go through. So that one just went right through. What's really cool about having your yardages broken down with the ballistics calculator, it lets you know what kind of shots to take. For example, on a small critter like a squirrel, up to about 100 yards, I could pretty much aim dead center, the way I have my scope and everything set up right now. But at 120 yards, I will now be shooting about 2 inches low. Okay, so that means, you know, I may not want to take a shot when the squirrel is laid out horizontally. I may want to wait till he's standing up so I have more room for air. I have one at 76 yards again. Nailed him right on the money. 60 yards, right in my sweet spot. I'm gonna go for the head. Yeah. See, I can go for the head at 60 yards. That's exactly where I'm zeroed. Right on the money. Let me know in the comments, you guys, whether or not you think zeroing your scope at 20 yards makes sense to you. To my buddy, man, he was like a freaking laser. I think we shot in a matter of a couple hours, probably 80 to 100 squirrels the other day. It was a free-for-all, no wind. Oh, so fun. There's the headshot guy. Here's a 100-yarder. There's another 100-yarder. And I'm shooting from right up there behind that bush, all the way to right there. And I'm shooting from here across this little valley right here to these trees. Here's one of those 70-yarders. And there's another one. I'm seeing a lot of activity over there and hearing a lot of activity, so I'm going to go prone down here at the bottom of the valley and shoot upwards. Thank you guys for watching. I need to get to 3,000 watch hours before I can monetize. I'm at about 700 right now. So if you guys could share my videos, watch them all the way through, I'd greatly appreciate it. Until next time, thank you so much.